museum back to life.
You know, people sit out on the front porch hoping people will come by.
Go forth and do good.
It's insane. I have the most understanding wife in the world.
I treat everybody the same thing.
Oh, that's the other thing I love about Marietta. It's like a melting pot.
You are listening to Marietta Stories. Each week, veteran podcaster Bill Nowicki brings you the heartwarming, interesting, and fun stories from the people that make the community of Marietta, Georgia, a place to call home. Here's your host, Bill Nowicki.
Hey everybody, welcome to Marietta Stories Podcast. I'm Bill Nowicki, and today's show, actually I did this back in December of 2019, long before COVID. This interview is with three folks, Jacob Viness, Justin McEver, and Wayne Delk, and they just got posted on Amazon. I waited all this time, took how many months? But finally, Stories of a Madman. Now, these guys are indie film producers. They're from Marietta. They love Marietta. It's terrific to hear how excited these folks are to make a movie, and it's out there. You can get it on Amazon Prime. You can go to the show notes, and the link will be in there for you to check it out. I love these guys. I love their enthusiasm. They're a lot of fun to interview, and it was just a joy to catch up with them. They were back in 2017. It was the first time I talked to them, but I know you enjoy it. So here's my friends Jacob Viness, Justin McEver, and Wayne Delk. Stories of a Madman on Amazon Prime. All right, I got Jacob Viness with me and Justin McEver. We had them back July of 2017, the first episode, just before Maggie's Farm. Is that it?
Correct. That is correct.
Just before Maggie's Farm debuted in Marietta. Mm-hmm. And your second movie just came out. What's the title of that one?
Stories of a Madman.
You don't have to lean into the mic. See, it's not attached to anything, Jacob. Yeah. I move it. How you doing, Justin?
Good. How about you?
Good. Yeah, and then we got somebody new. Wayne, what's your name?
Wayne Delk.
Wayne Delk. Now, what's your role in this? I was going to say adventure.
Yeah, I actually had a role in the first movie. It wasn't a speaking role, but in this one, in Maggie's Farm, I just got to get killed. So, and kill somebody. But in this one, I actually had a much larger role. Jacob actually wrote this character out and was thinking about me, told me about it, and it's pretty cool to be in a feature film and actually have a lot of lines. And then I also had another role with this movie. I actually served as executive producer. I actually helped these guys get this thing going. So.
Right, and it showed up in the Strand and everything.
It was wasn't the Strand, it was the Plaza Theater in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did I think it was the Strand?
We did Maggie's Farm, our first film, had a premiere, or didn't have the premiere at the Strand, but we did play at the Strand. We'd love to play Stories of Madman at the Strand if anyone who has connections is listening.
All right, well, let's talk about your lives a little recap. You guys went to high school together. You're reporters, in quotes, at Sprayberry High School. Started collaborating. Now, you were working at a movie theater. Still the case?
Yep, I am the manage the movie theater. That's my day job when I'm not
Which
making
one?
movies.
Do you want to give them a plug?
Yeah, sure. It's Park 12 Theaters. It's Georgia Theater Company over by Shalford Road in Sandy Plains. It's by Laster High School. Come say hey to me and buy my movie, Stories of a Madman.
Stories of a Madman. Yeah, that's right. And now, Justin, you were a band part-time.
Yeah, still doing the band. We have some music that's unreleased, but everyone's married and one.
Really? You're married too?
I'm not married. I'm the single man. Everyone else is married. Yeah, I get the groupies. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, geez.
No, but one has a baby, so I'm letting them do that time. I'm working on film sets in the meantime.
Great. So, yeah, your parents still supporting both you guys. That was a big part of the thing.
Yeah, as much as they still can, right?
Same thing with you, Jacob?
Yeah, they're proud of me. So now that we made two films in a row, two feature
and you
films.
verified that they're proud of you?
Yes, they've told me so.
Did they roll their eyes at any point?
I think maybe earlier on, maybe they were a little bit worried, but at this point, I think we've done so much, they're 100% behind it.
Great. All right. How about you, Wayne? What's your story? A little bit synopsis there.
I've got a much richer story. Only because I've got a couple of decades on these guys. See, I'm a lot older. I actually met Jacob. I was working a part-time at the movie theater as a security officer. I'm a Cobb County police officer.
Oh, really?
Yes, 22 years with Cobb County Police. I actually currently work as the public information officer. I'm the sergeant over the PIO unit.
Cool.
So I'm used to being in front of the camera, but it's usually talking about some horrible event.
Yeah, you don't usually have good news stories.
Very rarely do we have good news stories, although we try to put those out as much as we can. So
No one shows up for the press conference.
No. You might have one or two, local guys showing up, and the rest of them are like, yeah, call us back when somebody's bleeding. No, it's really not. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
We joke about it, but it's not that bad.
I hear you.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect of
So
it.
you're in the military?
Never military. No. I went the college route. I actually have a degree from the University of Georgia, English Lit. I was a teacher before I became a police officer. I actually worked for 4 years as an elementary school teacher. Yeah, I know, weird, right?
He knows good writing. So
How is their script writing?
Jacob is extremely good at writing scripts. I've been trying to learn. I actually have written a couple of books, and he's read some of my writing, but I've never written a screenplay until a few years ago, and that was because of Jacob. I read the script for Maggie's Farm, and I was like, this is really, really good. So now I've gotten into script writing because of him.
As compared to other scripts that you've read, or just other movies?
Story.
It was a good story.
It was a good story. It's a storytelling aspect. Now, some of the grammatical mistakes, I just kind of overlook those.
Yeah, well, that's easy to fix. The story is hard to get right.
The story is a thing. So he's a great storyteller. I could see it just talking to him about the character when he was still writing stories of a madman. We were talking about the character he envisioned me playing. I ended up playing this character in the movie, and I could see the wheels turning in his head. And it was great just kind of picking his brain, and I learned a lot.
Jacob is nodding his head like my whole dream is coming to fruition.
No, these guys are extremely creative. I've been to several of Justin's shows here. He's played at the Top of the Strand, he and his band. So
Still playing at the Top of the Strand?
Yeah, that's one of our favorite
crazy.
places. Yeah.
It seemed tenuous, the hold on that gig there when the last, I don't know what it is. Maybe you're just so laid back.
Yeah, we like to have a good time, I guess. Yeah.
Well, this is, you know what I loved about you guys' stories? You guys are putting so much effort in something you love. And if I remember correctly, Maggie's Farm was filmed in the dead of night at the Brewsters.
Yep.
Tell a little folks about that one.
Yeah, so our first full-length feature film, Maggie's Farm, we got permission from our friend Josh Barrett to film it as Brewsters.
I'm going to start holding the mic up so you don't...
So
I'm messing with you at this point.
Of course, we couldn't shoot it while they were open, so...
People are coming by saying, hey, how you got folks doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Square is packed. We're on the Marietta Square, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, so you got permission in the middle of the night?
Yeah, so we couldn't shoot it when they're open, so we had to shoot it in the middle of the night, so we had to shoot it
This is
midnight.
the Brewsters over Smyrna?
It's like Woodstock, right?
Oh, Woodstock.
Yeah. And so, we shot from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. We couldn't have the ice cream running.
Which is good for a cop.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you could stay awake.
We couldn't have the ice cream running for sound purposes. So every night we had to pull,
That's I didn't know that.
out. Yeah, we had to pull ice cream out and put them in coolers outside and everything. So it was a lot of extra work that had nothing to do with the movie itself. But we were passionate enough about the movie that it was worth doing.
All right, well, let's get on to the new movie. Yeah. Tell me where did that idea come from and stuff? Is this your brainchild or?
Yeah.
Or is pointing at you, Jacob?
Everybody's pointing at me. Exactly what I want to see. No, I'm just kidding. So Stories of Madman, it's basically perfect time for this time of year. We had our premiere at the Plaza in Atlanta, and it's...
Is that the place you work? No,
that's not where I work, but...
I'm terrible with names. Go ahead.
That's cool.
The brainchild started...
The story is it's a hotel, and it's a different story and a different hotel room on the same night, and that night is Christmas Eve. So it is a little bit of a Christmas movie. And my basic idea I got from it was we were already writing a movie trying to get made. I think I mentioned it on the last show, the Boxer movie. Couldn't get quite the funding for that one, a little too expensive. So I started looking at one-act plays to get inspiration for a low-budget idea. And there was a play by Sam Shepard, famous actor who recently passed away. And it's a two-act play that takes place in two different hotel rooms with these gangsters holding this guy hostage. And so that gave me the idea to go, I'll do something that's seedy hotel with gangsters. And I wrote this whole thing. And I thought it was going to be the whole movie. And after I wrote it, it was 20 pages. So it wasn't enough to be a whole movie. So I decided to do an anthology and do a different story in each hotel. And they're all about 15 to 20 minutes long. And they kind of come together thematically. So, and that's the story.
And how long did it take to write this masterpiece?
So the first draft, a lot of people, their jaws fall open. The first draft was written in a week. Believe it or not, pretty much what we shot was the first draft, aside from a few things. Wayne's big monologue at the end was rewritten pretty late. We shot in April. I think I rewrote it in like February. But other than that, the very gist of it was written in a week, which even I think is kind of crazy. But just kind of came out of me. It was another passionate personal story that I just was excited about, so it was pretty easy. So
what's a hook that you would tell people? So far it's just about a hotel and a couple stories. How would you get people to show up?
So it's super
murder, sex,
murder. Yes. It's supernatural crime. It's crime stories with a supernatural twist.
Wow, there you go.
There's some cool stuff in there. I don't want to spoil things, but you'll see some ghouls and goblins. Maybe not exactly ghouls or goblins, but that kind of stuff.
All right, great. All right, so it's
all in the Christmas spirit.
It doesn't sound like it to me, brother.
I mean, there are some
Christmas miracles. There are some Christmas miracles.
All right, there you go. What do you think? How did Wayne do you think?
Yeah, Wayne was great. It's like he said, he's used to being in front of the camera. So me and Justin
looking into the camera though. Did you have to train him not to look in the camera?
No. He was a natural.
He's a professional.
Yeah, exactly. I knew. If you get to know somebody and you can tell how they're going to be, it's easy to write. I've written for my friends plenty of times, and so you write something you know they can do, and then the only thing you don't know is how they'll react in front of the camera. But I didn't have that problem with Wayne because I knew he did that for a living. So I wrote something that I could see. I knew Wayne, just his natural charisma, so I wrote something that kind of fit that, and then knew he's not gonna be uncomfortable around the camera. And so I honestly, for someone who really had only done some very small acting before, I was not worried about him at all. My faith was restored, or was fulfilled, or whatever the word, it was rewarded, yes.
What's the right word?
It was upheld by my performance. Yes.
Thanks. Wayne's the word guy.
Yeah.
What did you think during the production? You think it was going to be any good?
The whole thing was a learning experience for me. I've been on a few sets. I think I talked to Justin about this when we were there. I've been on a few different sets, and I had seen directors and people on the set interact with the talent, and this was totally different from anything I had experienced before because everyone got along. It was.
Is it a middle of the night thing again?
Not this one. No, this one was normal shooting, like 8 a.m. Normally it was like 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
We only had, There was only one night we did a night shoot. Yeah. I think it was just one night, wasn't it? Yeah. And we knocked that one out too. So that it was interesting because, and I ended up talking to these guys afterwards. That just seemed like everyone knew what they were supposed to do. Jacob didn't have to crack a whip on too many people too often.
Might have been one or two people I should have.
Probably. But it went so smoothly, which is why we were able to shoot this movie in less than 2 weeks.
Yep.
Which
8 days.
Yeah, an 8-day shoot. And it's crazy that we got so much shot and done. We finished a scene. I'm like, wow, that was crazy. We finished already. We're moving on to the next scene.
It wasn't like Plan 9 from outer space, was it? Or when it was like, move the camera.
Yeah, no.
That's done. That's close enough.
No. It's assistant director David Moore. He's worked with people like Tyler Perry. He's worked with some big time. And he looked over at me and he said, and excuse my language, but I'm going to quote him directly. He said, I've been on a lot of sets that work slow and you get some work done, you feel good. I've been on a lot of sets where you work fast and you get nothing but And he's like, I've seen the work we're doing. We're working fast, but it's actually good. So that's nice.
That is
That
nice.
was pretty much exactly what he said. So, and as the AD, assistant director, he was there next to me every step of the way. So when him saying stuff like that gave me the boost that I needed to get through, especially someone like him who has worked with guys like Tyler Perry and stuff. So we do work fast, but it's not in a sloppy way. It's hard to explain, but as Wayne said, it's just different.
I'll give him even more credit. I think because he actually writes these characters with the people in mind when he's writing them, it's a lot easier to get, because
You don't have to act like a
Justin already knew exactly what he was going to do. He had this great idea for his character, and day one, it was awesome watching him. I was like, okay, I'm actually believing he's this crazy guy.
Is this like method acting for you? But did you become that character? Or is that character you?
He's not me at all, really. I mean, it's like a rough kind of hick, I guess. So it was a lot of fun. I don't know if it was necessarily method. Like for lunch, I was still me, you know? Like, I didn't go into being this crazy guy, but I did pull a lot from, you know, personal experiences that I don't really want to talk about.
Well, you shouldn't have said that crap.
You know? So, yeah, it was different.
You know people, perhaps.
I don't know.
I can't just let that one
like
sit.
him, I guess.
What's that?
I don't know anyone exactly like him, I guess. It was
amalgamation of other people?
Yeah, I mean, I knew like I wanted to do like this kind of deep southern redneck hick, and I also knew like I wanted to be like a bad guy, like the villain in a sense, and that's completely opposite of me. So I just kind of pulled through some rough experiences I kind of was going through, and kind of just was angry, and that's kind of how I played this guy, of being this kind of angry guy that's just dead set on, you know, violence and being the villain of sorts, I guess.
I heard from other actors that talk about playing someone like a villain or a bad guy. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. Yeah, I don't want to be the good guy. My granddad, after this, because I do have a lot of language, he wasn't too happy about that. And like his like big thing is like, why don't you just play like a normal person, like a good guy? And I'm like, but because that's no fun. Like I gotta have.
It is acting.
Yeah, it is acting. At least I'm not like that guy in real life, you know.
I'm looking at you right in the eye. All right. Well, you have somebody in the Cobb County Police Department if you ever need it.
Yeah.
Wayne will got you back.
Yeah.
He'll get you
I
to
turn
bail.
into that guy. I'm good friends with
narrow.
that guy.
What?
I have to keep him on the straight and narrow. I got to keep an eye on him.
He keeps
good.
me from becoming that guy, I guess.
But it is amazing when you guys do what you love to do. Things do fall into place, and you can be yourself, and you don't get as angry as you normally would, probably at the movie theater.
Yeah, I know from, I'm, the movie theater, I manage people just like on set, directors manage people. I learned a lot. I will tell anybody that wants to be a filmmaker, get a job in management. I learned so much about directing from that job. It is crazy how much more stressed I'll get at work, even because it's something I'm not interested in. It's something I'm literally just doing, I'm doing to survive. And so it's more frustrating.
Make sure you don't tell your management about this podcast.
I think
not painting the best picture.
No.
Your current employment.
No, they understand.
It allows you to be passionate.
No, they understand. But I don't mean it that way. But versus thing with movies is I love movies.
Let's shift.
No, I'm continuing the comment. Yeah. The thing is with the movies is I love making movies, and even I can get stressed, and a lot of it's money on the line. And as much as I love movies, ultimately I can sit back and go, hey, I'm enjoying this. This is worth it. And also I can sit back and go, in the grand scheme of things, it's a movie.
Talk about editing, though. That the rough cuts and all that is one thing, but editing is painful in it.
Yeah, editing is terrible because it's the funnest part of it for me, but it's also the worst because editing is when you see all the mistakes you made. And you're done shooting, so you can't go back.
You do dailies every day, though, right?
On our sets.
Tell folks what dailies.
So dailies are when you, at the end of the day, you look at all the footage that you've shot. We haven't really done a lot of dailies. Mainly, I've looked a little bit at them, but just mainly because of how fast shooting a whole feature in 8 days. So a lot of times, when I'm not on set, I'm asleep, and then I'm waking up, and then I'm. But I do.
You got to have the venue and all that stuff.
Exactly. But I do look a little bit. There's always kind of check. But nowadays with digital stuff,
I like when you winked there for that.
Yeah.
Check.
Nowadays with digital stuff, though,
A lot of corrections can be made.
Nowadays with digital stuff, you don't really need dailies because you can just watch it the second after it finishes. And that's what I always watch 2 takes before we move on. So, but yeah, it's
hard to pick up in the detail. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Is there any kind of glaring errors that you have? Like Coke disappears halfway in the shot?
No. In continuity, there's not many continuity errors. Continuity errors don't bother me though, because you look at like Scorsese's famous for them, and like Goodfellas and things. The guy's got the cigar that changes. It's the emotion of the scene. So if we cut to a close up of Justin that is the best take, and it doesn't go with the wide shot as well, if the emotion of the scene works, it's to me that. And there's some people who disagree with that. There's some people who want it to look they care more about the technical part, but I'm always more about the character and the emotion part of it. So I guess to me, if the audience is into it, they're not gonna care. So many people have seen Goodfellas a million times on TV, and probably now will go back and check and see the cigar thing and never thought about it.
That's true.
It's just about getting into the story. If it's a good movie with good performances, and I'll always take a performance over a technical thing, which can make DPs very upset. But
what's a DP?
Director of photography. So they're like the lead camera guy. Obviously, I don't want it to look bad, but if I get a great performance and there's a little bit of a camera wiggle, I'm going to take the great performance every time.
All right. Let's close things out. So where can they actually see this movie?
So it will be available on Amazon. It was supposed to be available on Amazon by the time we did this. It's still not. I'm working with the Amazon people, so hopefully by the time you edit this, we can put in a part and say it's available on Amazon now.
There's a lot of ums and ahs coming out of your mouth.
How about it's going to be available on Amazon. You can search Stories of a Madman, and it'll be on Amazon for rent or purchase.
All right, what's it going to cost?
Believe it's like $1 or $2 to rent and $9.99 to purchase.
Wow, I'm going to check this thing out. And where was it filmed? Anybody know the location?
It was filmed here in Marietta, very close.
Yeah, right on Cobb Parkway, motel on Cobb Parkway. What's the name of that motel? I don't know. I forgot.
You went there every day for
Budget in.
Budget
in on Cobb Parkway, right here in Marietta.
There was a lot of real life shady
I was going to say.
Much more.
It fit the bill for us.
City Hotel.
We were all method acting in a sense.
Well, that's great.
Dave Post. We had Dave Post in there.
Yeah, that's right, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave Post Barbecue over here in Marietta. Yeah,
A lot of Marietta connections. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you guys love Marietta. I know that. And you're from here. You give back to the community. I guess.
Oh yeah, when we make it big, my name's going to be on a plaque in the Marietta Square on how much I get back. Yeah.
Got to scout out a future location for that plaque. But anyway, it was a pleasure. What's that?
We'll find a spot for it. Yeah, I know some people.
That's true. We might have to come in here at night and put it in, but we can put it plaque. But it was a pleasure catching up with you guys. It's been 2.5 years, and you guys are still making movies. And Wayne, it's a pleasure meeting you. Anything you wanted to close the episode out with? Any one of you? I'll give you the last word, or who wants the last word?
Well, I also want to say, I don't think he ever mentioned it, but Wayne, he's being modest. He was also the executive producer on the film, so he was not just the actor. He
just adjusted his sunglasses.
Yeah, we couldn't have made this thing without Wayne. All three of us are producer credit. The first time it was me and Justin as a partnership, but now it's, I guess, it's like King Ghidorah, 3 heads, you know? It's a Godzilla reference.
Yeah, it went over my head. But yeah. Anything you wanted to share, executive producer Wayne?
Yeah, I would like to say I think we have a lot of young, talented people.
Where are they right now?
No, I got two.
These guys.
I've got 2 of them right beside me right now, and I think a lot of people there's a lot of talent out there if people would just actually invest in it. So my whole thing is I'm investing my time, energy, and now money as well into helping these guys to continue on with making movies, because I honestly believe they've got a lot of talent and they're going to go places. And I wouldn't mind going with them.
All right, yeah. Cobb County needs people like you too, Wayne. But anything you wanted to share, Justin? You're just along for the ride, man.
Oh yeah, just tagging along, having a good time.
Don't you have a song coming out on New Year's Day?
Oh yeah, I got a little doo-wop album I did with.
Really?
Yeah, the drummer from Steady Common.
Is that called EP?
We're actually called the Whopping Duo, is what we call it. But yeah.
But an EP is like an extended play, isn't that what they call them now, or no?
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be an album. 13 songs.
13 songs. What is the? This is Steady Common still.
Actually, Chase Nixon, he was actually in Stories of a Madman as well, acted and did the post sound on it. He's in Steady Common as well, and yeah, we just.
What's the name of the album? Where can they get it?
Whopping Duo, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you listen to music. And yeah, just want to say thanks to Wayne so much for being a part of this as well, and Jacob for just getting it done.
Are you already thinking of the next movie?
Oh yeah, there's one that we really want to do this coming year. Well, it's done. The script's been done. We're working on ways to get some money for it.
What's the name of your production company? I forgot.
Pew Pew Productions.
PEW, right?
Yep, PEW, Pew Pew Productions. Exactly. And then I've written a couple other kind of low-budget scripts that we can probably maybe take a crack at. My super dream would be able to do one in the spring and one in the fall, but that might be a little,
All right. Well, pleasure catching up with you guys again. Happy holidays to everybody, and best of luck, man. Keep doing what you love.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us on again.
Thanks.
Take care.
Still.
And there you have it, Jacob Viness, Justin McEver, and Wayne Delk, Stories of a Madman, available on Amazon Prime. Please take care and take a few minutes to tell some people about Marietta Stories podcast. I think it's the best podcast for Marietta. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your time, and if you don't mind, thank a few people for all the hard work they do, especially the people that are helping us through this COVID situation. And it's been a pleasure for me to serve you. Hopefully I'll have a few more episodes out for you pretty soon. This is Bill Nowicki saying thank you for listening to Marietta Stories podcast.